with the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a rat too. I don't spare no motherfucker about it. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating, that means you're a rat.
Questioning is you calling on the phone and talking on the phone with. Questioning doing crime with, nigga. And questioning that you got the authorization to check. You can't check me.
I'm talking to you. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it, and your mama.
Man, King Harris looks like he's officially done playing polite when it comes to his name and his family's legacy. Especially after folks started tossing around that rat label at his pops. The disrespect? He's not letting that slide. Word on the block says King's got his sights set straight on Boosie for running his mouth like he's got something to prove. But before we unpack the drama, let's rewind and see where this heat really sparked. You remember that Vlad TV interview where Boosie went off and called T.I. a rat like he had receipts? He didn't flinch, didn't soften it, didn't sugarcoat a thing. Boosie said it bold and clear. Tip cooperated with the law. He even claimed T.I. snitched on his own dead cousin just to be the case. His words hit heavy. If you cooperate with law enforcement to get out of trouble, you're a rat. Straight, no chaser. That one quote had the whole rap world doing double takes like, did he really just say that? The internet exploded. Streets got loud, and Boosie stood tall like he just dropped gospel truth. And it wasn't for clout, he meant every syllable. He even scrapped the entire collab album he and T.I. had in the vault, tossed it like yesterday's trash. A whole project gone overnight. That move shook everyone, but Tip wasn't about to play the silent role. He clapped back hard, saying the story was twisted, that it was just a what-if scenario, not an actual confession. Then Tip raised the bar, claiming he had the paperwork ready to prove he never folded, never snitched, not once. Receipts on deck. But Tip didn't stop there. He flipped the narrative. Started dropping hints that maybe Boosie had a few skeletons of his own locked up somewhere. The streets been whispering for years that Boosie might have talked when it mattered most. People been wondering how he beat those major cases while others got buried under them. So when Tip threw that subtle shade, it made the whole hood pause. Like, who's really clean here? Who's got the real dirt? Then Boosie tried to ease off just a little. Said maybe he jumped too quick without seeing the paperwork first. Not an apology, just a half step back. But he couldn't help himself. Circled right back saying he had a snitch tape on T.I., doubling down like he was proving a point. And then, just to stir the pot deeper, Boosie dragged King Harris into the mess, calling the kid a carbon copy of his dad. A rat, a loudmouth, a clout chaser. Boosie threw every insult he could find. He even brought up King's 2024 run-in, the one where he nearly crashed into a cop car with weed in sight and a gun on his hip. That wasn't just reckless, it was career suicide. And let's not forget the old baggage from 2022, speeding, suspended license, DUI, stacking up like a countdown to chaos. Word is, King could be looking at up to 5 years, and that completely destroys the street life image he's been pushing. The streets are watching, and the clock's ticking. Tip's been warning him for years, but King doesn't listen. Back in 2022, Tip even told him, if you don't slow down, your classroom's gonna be a jail cell. But Boosie wasn't buying that concerned dad routine. He flipped it, saying T's the one fueling his son's wildness. And honestly, some folks think he's right. Just look at that viral Waffle House meltdown. King was 17, clowning employees like he owned the place, barking, "You can't check me," like he was bulletproof. And that's where Tip dropped the ball. Instead of grounding him, he defended him, said when you're rich, you move different, that the employees were just jealous. That line alone set the internet on fire. Comments blew up with people dragging T.I. for enabling bad behavior. One said, T.I. failed this child. This is embarrassing. Another wrote, he raised that boy to think is untouchable. Now everyone's looking at Tip sideways like, you built this chaos. Don't act surprised now. But let's keep it real. Boosie ain't squeaky clean either. The street's been whispering about his own son, Tyrell, getting jammed up in Atlanta on some heavy charges. So while Boosie's out here preaching about parenting, his own house might be falling apart the same way. The irony's wild. Two rap legends, both raising sons in the spotlight, and now the spotlight's burning both families at once. A generational curse or just bad choices catching up. Either way, it's messy on both sides. Reports say Ty was caught red-handed with illegal firearms, including a Glock with a switch, plus a whole stack of gun charges on top. Allegedly, he even took police on a chase, ran into the woods, and when they caught up, those weapons were sitting right there waiting. Now the street's buzzing heavy. People saying Boosie's son out here acting just like King, which makes Boosie's whole calling out Tip act look mad hypocritical. And the internet? They didn't let him breathe. One comment read, Boosie can't even keep his own son straight, so how's the pot calling the kettle black? Another voice came harder, saying, Boosie don't need to talk about nobody's parenting when his own kids willed in worse. The shade was heavy, but it got worse once Whack 100 jumped in. During an interview,
yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well? All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
No safety, got to.
No safety.
Take
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right now you're just being detained. You want this hat to go with you?
I hung on the chair.
I'm sorry, I didn't give you the update. So they did confirm it. So the warrant is valid and they do want you.
he hinted that Tip might have once snitched on his own pops, a rumor so wild it froze a timeline for a minute. People clutched their phones like, wait, what? Suddenly, folks started asking, if Boosie's house got chaos of its own, why is he out here clowning King like his son ain't moving the same way? Meanwhile, Tip didn't sugarcoat a thing. He said, I told my son, his mama, and his grandma, if he keeps this up, he's going to prison. Ain't nothing I can do to stop it. That was Tip's strict rule, sounding like a man who already made peace with the truth. But King's energy? Still loud, still reckless, that same Waffle House attitude snapping. Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. The internet replayed it on loop, calling him the perfect storm of fame and ego gone wrong. This beef ain't just clout anymore, it's personal. Boosie's shots at King were never about the kid. They were bullets aimed straight at Tip. And this tension? It's been brewing for years. Remember when Boosie got dragged for those wild comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter? One of the first people to check him publicly was Tip, told him to mind his business and stop policing another man's child. That moment planted the seed, and Boosie never let it go. From then on, he's been swinging at Tip every chance he gets. He stayed pressing, from calling Tip a rat, to mocking his parenting, to dragging King's name every time it hit the blogs. When King slipped up, Boosie didn't see a kid spiraling. He saw ammo. Every arrest, every headline, every viral clip turned into a tool to stain Tip's legacy. Because for Boosie, this was chess, not checkers. King wasn't the enemy. He was a pawn in a much bigger ego war. Now both families are burning under the same spotlight. King trying to prove is his own man, but every move he makes brings more chaos. Tip fighting to protect his name, while Boosie's out here fueling the fire like a promotion season. And here's the kicker. Word on the street says when Ty got caught the first time, he might have implicated Boosie himself. Some say Boosie even took the plea to shield his boy. That's father energy, but it also makes his whole snitch campaign look ironic as hell. Like, how are you preaching loyalty when you might have done the same? And that's the twist people keep missing. This feud never started with King. It started the day Boosie crossed a line about Wade's daughter, and Tip checked him on it. Now, years later, Boosie's turned his grudge into a storyline, keeping King's mistakes alive just to drag Tip through the mud. Because in this game, it's not about truth, it's about narrative. And Boosie knows how to keep a narrative alive. So where does it all go from here? Does King finally flip the script, or does the pressure break him? Because one thing's clear, this ain't just family drama anymore, It's a legacy war. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like, and stay locked in with Star Tropper. We're loading up the next one right now.